windows. Okay, she has something in her hand to bust windows with. She just bust my window. Terry just keyed the side of my car and actually just got painted over because she sideswiped it. Terry just did that. Now she is reversing. I think she's finishing up on the car.
Let's go.
I vowed to give my love to you. No one else but you. They want nothing.
Right, today we're going to be talking about why most relationships fail, especially 2019 going into 2020. And this is going to be my red pill version. All right, to me, relationships fail from force of standards and sense of security. And that's going to come on both ends, the men and the women's end. All right, women force standards onto men for a sense of security. Men view those standards and get confused as to what they need to do to actually make the woman happy, because it seems like a revolving door of women not being happy. The happiness is always short term. All right, both parties, man and female, have a set of standards before they meet each other, and those standards are going to be based off of past relationships and what they see in their future. A lot of women force standards on men that men cannot even see themselves actually achieving. And it's the same thing with a woman. If a man places the standards on her too high, she may look at it like she cannot achieve them. So what happens is these standards are never revealed at the beginning of the relationship, because most beginning of the relationships, when it comes to their checklist, they start off with physicality. Now, when a woman is looking at physicality, she's looking at it two ways. She's looking at attractiveness and she's looking at it as money. Those are the main two things that will grab her attention: the way you look and the money that you have. When it comes to a guy can have all the money in the world and he could still marry a woman with no money in her pocket with a $20 dress on. It's not going to happen too much like that when it comes to a woman. She'll rather be with a rich, ugly guy before she marries a broke, good-looking guy any day. But with both parties in a relationship based off of physicality, now comes the compromising part. This is why it's not going to fail. It's because both parties, men and women, are going to be trying to change each other to their standard. Women are going to want the guy that they like for money to act like the guy that they just wanted to love. It's the same thing with a man. He wanted a housewife. He's going to want that woman to adapt to her. And if she wanted a good looking stud and all he had was money, she may try to force him to try to look good or force him to try to get in the gym. That's what both parties are trying to do, is to force each other to be the standard that they set out for themselves to love. But what happens is, in today's world, people have more egos and you have more selfish lovers. So you have a failure of people willing to compromise in order to make the other happy, because both agendas have been placed in male and female just through the internet. See, if you look at it, most of these women that are watching these celebrities and gossip, they think they got to go out and have the latest purse, the latest shoes. They man got to look like this. He got to be rich. He got to do that. Women have been hypnotized in that direction, and men have been hypnotized in porn. So a lot of these Instagram model women are surviving on the internet due to men's neurological system set to the standard of a prostitute. This is how a lot of women are really pulling a lot of blue pill men, because a lot of blue pill men have changed their standards to what they're used to seeing every day, which has been pornographic type women. And now you have women who have adjusted their standards to what they're seeing other women do on Instagram and the internet as well. So now you have both parties that are under two different types of mindset that are trying to change each other, and the failure rate is increasing because both refuse to compromise. Now, let's get to another part as to why relationships are going to fail. Life isn't teaching family structure anymore. It isn't teaching woman cook or man cook and everyone sits down at the dinner table and eat. It's not happening like that no more. When families are sitting down nowadays to eat, every kid and mom and dad have a cell phone next to them. Most relationships are built through a text message. That's what it is. Everyone's inside of their own little world where they're their own little celebrity. And everyone wants to be seen and everyone wants the attention. And that's the problem as to why relationships are going to fail. It's because we're not being programmed to need a woman. They're not being programmed to need a man. And we're not being programmed to even need a family to survive. This is Anthony Spade. Hasta la vista.
Let's go. For damn wrong. I vowed to give my love to you. No one else but you. Yeah. They want nothing more but break me from shot.
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then go ahead and hit that like button. Today we're going to be talking about why alpha males don't exist. All right? Now when you browse the internet, you got thousands of definitions what an alpha male is. Everyone thinks it's all about a strong, dominant man who make a lot of money and have a lot of women. That ain't what it is. That's just a confident man. It's not an alpha male. An alpha male is somebody that preys on somebody's weakness to conquer. Alpha males are the biggest narcissists in the world. They make the world revolves around them by preying on weakness to get ahead. That's what an alpha male does. It doesn't take anything too serious in life. It just tries to dominate everything. In order for you to be an alpha male, you got to be soulless. People can't develop a trait of being soulless. People can't develop a trait that no matter what someone says to you, no matter what someone does to you, you can always see the weakness in them and not care about anything that they have to say about you. That's what alpha males have the ability to do. Is to understand that anything negative that someone's saying to him is all form of their weakness. That's what an alpha male can do. Because he needs them to feel weak and vulnerable in order for him to get ahead. It's the same thing with women. An alpha male is fully understood that women are dominated by dominancy. An alpha male can smell her weakness. A beta male listens to her words. That's the difference. When you can look at a woman and tell her all of her flaws and care less what she says back to you, that's what an alpha male could do. Whether the girl like him or not, he shows no emotion. He shows no reaction. That's what an alpha male could do because he's soulless. See, an alpha male could stroll through, make a video, stroll through the comment section and get so much negativity and not even let it affect them. Because the words of someone don't mean anything. It just shows how weak they are. That's what an alpha male could do. Alpha male ain't afraid what someone thinks about him because he's always on the hunt. He's always on the capture to control the environment around him. He sees through people faster than people can see themselves. Everyone's not born with that trait. It's non-existent. Most guys portray images. They think it's all about how much muscle they got, how much money they got, how many women they got. See, women like guys with money. They worship alpha males. They worship the guy that thinks of them of being nothing. But they like the guy with money. But the guy with money thinks he's an alpha male because he got money. No, alpha male has nothing pretty about him. Being next to an alpha male, you will barely be respected. You will be seen and noticed, but you will not be able to rule. because you ain't got that dominancy. Two dominant males can't sit in the same room. Two alpha males are always trying to conquer the environment around them. Everyone's not born with that. They don't exist. A lot of these guys are just strong men. That's it. You're just strong. You're portraying the image of an alpha male. You're getting your muscles up. That don't mean you're alpha. You guys are making a lot of money. That don't mean you alpha. You're just putting on a wolf's mask. Then when the heat's on, you start showing your little fluffy tail out the back. See, a true alpha male don't even have to say much to anybody because they're in control of their environment around them. See, alpha males don't exist because too many of you guys out there, you'll let the smallest thing in the world throw you off your game. You'll let the smallest things in the world mess the rest of your week up. There ain't no alpha males. Just a whole bunch of guys trying to convince the world of something different than what's going on. You want to be an alpha male? Remove your emotions from everything. Figure out what you want out of life and just go. And when you go along this journey and you start to develop the alpha male spirit, that hunt, then you'll look around and see there's plenty to eat.